Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got a really short knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the Sencut Excalis, which is a very simple, very straightforward, and very inexpensive pocket knife. Definitely built well, definitely something that is better suited for people looking for, kind of a beater, like a high quality beater, or maybe their first pocket knife, or maybe a pocket knife that you're gifting to a friend. Sencut makes a lot of those, and it's worth checking out their entire lineup, but this is a good choice. I'll link it right down in the description. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks to Sencut for Sencut/Civivi/we for sending this in. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex and on TikTok at the_metal_complex. Let's go ahead and measure this knife. It's not a small knife, but it's kind of like in between medium and small, I guess. Coming in at about 6.75 inches, blade length 3 inches, cutting edge about 2.85. How about some size comparisons? Any custom scales you find in this section can be found down in the description under Original Goat and others. So up against the 8010 and the 8020.5, closer to the size of the 8020.5, and honestly an identical amount of cutting edge, but it's a smaller overall knife due to the handle being way shorter. Let's go ahead and put it up against the Spyderco PM2 and the Spyderco Para 3. Once again, closer to the smaller example here, the Para 3, but actually more cutting edge than the Para 3. And then finally up against the Benchmade Griptilian, or in this case the Ritter Hogue, and the Hogue Deca. How's the action on this knife? It is a well-tuned detent for both a flipper and thumb stud opening knife. Sencut generally just knows how to do this. I mean, this blueprint has been available to companies like Sencut for so long. Honestly, at this point, it's offensive when companies don't get it right, but they got it right here. I mean, we expect them to get it right, and they do. Honestly, the flipper tab is nice. It's kind of jimped all the way around, so if you like to push button it, you can push button it. If you like to light switch it, you can do that. If you like to reverse flick it, if you like to thumb flick it, right? Or if you're a totally normal person, you just like to wheel it out, right? Maybe you're a weirdo and you like to open it with two hands without using any of the deployment mechanisms. Whatever, it works. It's just fine. The detent is good. It's exactly what you'd expect from Sencut. Let's go ahead and do carry profile thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. It's really not all that thick, even considering they did full steel liners and scales on top. Still not very thick. Length and height up against the PM2 and Para 3. This is a very compact knife. Slightly taller, I guess, than you would expect for this length of knife, but that's still not quite as tall as the Para 3 or PM2. Honestly, it's a very easy knife to carry. Let's do weight. What are we looking at for materials? We have G10, we have 9CR 18 MOV, and we have steel liners. Again, exactly what you'd expect from Sencut and sometimes Civivi, but the right materials considering the price point. Weight is 3.9 ounces, which is definitely heavier than I think a lot of people might expect. Probably just the height of the blade and the amount of steel in the the liners. They didn't nest them, so there's quite a bit. But the balance point is right there in the main choil, or the primary choil area, right behind the pivot. So the thing doesn't really feel heavy. And truthfully, 3.9 ounces isn't what I would consider to be heavy. Just heavier than people would expect for a knife of this size, I guess. Let's go ahead and measure the blade stock thickness. Sencut tends to come in on the thinner side. 117 thousandths, no surprises there. Let's go ahead and do a hardware check. I'll get out my tools. As per usual, my tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools I use on this channel. We have T8 for the pivot. We have T8 for the body screws, which there are only 3 of, because one of the screws will be the pocket clip screw, right? In combination with the other pocket clip screw. You can put it on either side, which is great. Those are going to be T6 screws. Very simple construction. As long as you have the right tools for the job, you should be good to go. Meat and potatoes time. There's not a lot here, but these knives have their place in this world. Like I said, if you are a seasoned knife veteran, you have all of the knife awards and have beaten all of the gym leaders in the Pokemon Knife League, and you've beaten the Elite Four of the Knife League, and you're the knife Pokemon master, then whatever. This type of knife is obviously derivative of 1,000 different designs. Sencut has a formula down where they take knife profiles that have been used for decades, if not hundreds of years, and they take blade profiles the same way, and they alter lines just a little bit between their models, right? And then they make this stuff out of fairly inexpensive materials, right? Steel liners, G10 and 9TR18 MOV, but materials that work well in terms of, a cutting tool. These are materials that will hold up to the use that, a rational person is going to put this type of item through. And that's great. I mean, that's where we get this sort of synonymous value sense with Sencut. They're purposeful designs. They're made very, very well. The tolerances are extremely good. The overall quality is very good. For people who have been buying their pocket knives at Home Depot, or if you're most of the time, like if the pocket knives you buy come in like that clamshell packaging, those are the type of people who are always shocked by the quality of Sencut, because you're paying the same or slightly more and you're getting like worlds apart in terms of overall quality and dependability, right? Cutting geometry, the initial sharpened edge is phenomenal. Sencut and Civivi do an incredible factory edge. It's very easy to maintain, right? This is more of the same is what I'm saying. The only unique element here, and it's not even unique, they just put holes in the blade. Fine, right? At this price point, I'm not really expecting anything to be super duper unique, right? I kind of under $50, and it's like, give me, something that's slightly different than everything else that you've got in your line. And then make sure that obviously you have good, reasonable blade geometry, good materials, right, that you can hang on to it. All of these basic check boxes, it's there. I will point out, if your hands are like mine and you wear an XL glove, which is not really all that big, but if they're the same as mine, you'll have your pinky kind of slipping off the end. Some people aren't bothered by this. A 3-finger grip is fine for them, and some people are really bothered by it. I don't know why, but I'm really bothered by it. I don't like that. I want to get my whole hand on there, right? But that's kind of an individual thing. So it might not be bothering you all that much. There is no double clutch. I didn't really mention that, but Sencut's smart enough to have that detent ball up on the face of the blade by the time that flipper tab comes down to meet your thumb. So that's nice. Blade shape is kind of like a kind of reverse tanto-y, drop pointy thing. I'm not really sure what you would want to call this. The nice thing is, much like other Sencut knives, the cutting bevel is nice and thin. It's very even, right? This area in here looks like a choke up position. I wouldn't. I don't like how little of my finger I can get in there before it starts cutting me. I'm just not really interested in putting my finger there. I do feel plenty locked in. Unfortunately, they insist on using this Loch Ness Monster clip that's the same size as the clips on all their other knives. And so since this handle is much shorter than their average knife, I mean, to my knowledge, that means that bill goes right into the middle of your finger when you are hammer gripping it. A lot of times I feel like we're going to be using it like this, which is actually pretty comfortable, or maybe like this, or maybe like this, and that's fine. It's really only in that hammer grip where, I mean, you can see it, like, look at this. Look where that's going. Right there. I hate that. I wish, these companies, even these budget companies, would make like 3 different versions of their, like if they're going to do the same clip, like make it to where you can make a shorter one, or maybe just 2. Do a short one and a long one. That way when you have a smaller knife, you get a smaller clip. Because having that bill in the middle of your hand is really bothersome. That's really one of my only nitpicks. I mean, the thumb stud is slightly in the cutting path, but that's no big deal. Most of us cut at an angle anyway. They come in at least 2 different configurations, coated and non-coated. If it's the same as their Civivi and Wii knives, the coated ones are going to have a slightly lower Rockwell range. So I always tell people who are new, the compositions that they're using here are stainless anyway, so any additional benefit that you're getting to stainlessness, which is likely nothing considering this is, I'm not sure that this is actually any type of real coating. Basically what I'm saying is that the coating is not going to offer enough of a benefit to offset the fact that it lowers the Rockwell range by a whole point. So in my opinion, go with the uncoated one. The blade's going to perform better in terms of drag and in terms of the general heat treat. But it's a little bit trivial at this price point. I don't want to nitpick too much about that. They generally do a really good job. Let's see here. The holes, whatever. They don't really like add anything. They don't take anything away. It's just kind of like, I guess they thought, there's nothing else going on the handle. Let's just put some holes on there. They don't really change anything. Like I said, you've got a position for the pocket clip to be mounted for right or left hand carry, which is great. If you are if you're left-handed, manipulating the liner lock is very, very easy, but most of you are used to that at this point. We have a lanyard hole, which is fine. Pocket clip is honestly fine, except for the length and the actual bill itself, which will undoubtedly grab onto something as you walk by and bend itself out, as pocket clips do with very pronounced bills. I always nitpick that, but what are you going to do? Stop pin located in its usual position, and we have some slight shouldering. The knife does run on bearings, but you probably could have guessed that. There's no blade play up, down, left to right, no lock stick. As I said, no double clutch. There's no pivot lash, very smooth and consistent in here, and the detent is actually pretty nice, for a knife of this size that's utilizing both thumb studs and a flipper tab. That detent just feels pretty much perfect. Centering on this guy is just about spot on, so that's great. I've got teeny tiny little nitpicks. This is an entry-level, nice knife. It's not doing anything unique. Sencut has a million knives that are almost identical. They're just longer or slightly taller or they're slightly different color, right? There's not really a whole lot different here. The best thing about this knife is that it's made well. It's a reasonable ergonomic design, a good blade profile, and it's $38. That's really the best thing there. But like I said, Sencut has a million of those, so before you buy this, I would look through their entire line. I mean, that generally is who I recommend if you're just looking for a good budget knife, or you're starting out in the knife world and you have no idea where to start, you're trying to buy a gift for somebody, or you're just looking for a beater, right? Check out Sencut, but look through all of their stuff because they likely have something that is exactly or nearly exactly right for you. That's going to be pretty much it. Like I said, this will be linked down in the description. It will go in my Cheap Knives I Like playlist because generally speaking, it is a good, cheap knife. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex and on TikTok at _metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do of course have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.